Welcome learners to this class. My name is Teacher Jane. I've been teaching you secondary mathematics and I'll still continue. But today I want to take a break and teach on university mathematics, a unit called Mathematics for Science. Mathematics for Science. I'm going to look at a topic called permutations and combinations. Permutations and combinations. And I'm going to start with a subtopic called the factorial notation for us to be able to understand what permutations and combinations are. So learn, what is a factorial notation? How is it symbolized? The factorial notation, learner, is symbolized as n factorial. In the calculators, you'll meet it as x factorial. So the symbol for the factorial notation is n factorial. N with an exclamation mark there. We read it as n factorial or factorial n. Factorial. Factorial n. Learn, what does factorial n refer to? It refers, n factorial, learner, refers to the product, to the multiplication, to the product of all the integers, from n all the way to 1. What do I mean by this? You start with n, then the next number will be n minus 1. So you will start with n, you multiply by n minus 1, you multiply by n minus 2, you are reducing the number by 1 as you move to the next number. So n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 multiplied, like that, all the way to times 1. So n factorial refers to the product, the multiplication of all the integers from n all the way to 1. Let us look at some examples. What do I mean by this? For example, what is 3 factorial? 3 factorial, learner, refers to what? It refers to the product of 3, you start with 3, then you talk of 2, then times 1. So 3 times 2 times 1, which is 6. So when you talk about 3 factorial, it simply means 6. If you talk of 5 factorial, you talk of 5, you multiply by 4, you multiply by 3, you multiply by 2 times 1. If you work out that, learner, you will get 120. So 5 factorial, learner, refers to 120. You start with the number itself, the highest number, which is 5, you go multiplying with all the integers up to 1. And therefore, learner, suppose you are given a question here. Suppose you are given a question and you are told, work out a 5 factorial divide by 3 factorial. 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial, learner. So you write the multiplication. 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Divide by 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. Learner, if you look at this product, these numbers will cancel out. From 3 heading to 1, they will cancel out. In other words, 3 factorial, this is 3 factorial, will cancel out with 3 factorial. And therefore you are left with 5 times 4, which is what, learner? 20, which is 20. We look at another one. Suppose you are told to divide 6 factorial by 2 factorial by 3 factorial, like that, learner. So you come and pick your 6 factorial. 6 factorial, you write it down like that, Then you divide by 2 factorial. 2 factorial, learner, is 2 times 1. Okay? Then you say times 3 factorial. 3 times 2 times 1, Lana. Look at that. Then you cancel out 3 factorial, will divide, will cancel out in the numerator and the denominator. Then you can talk of by 2, 1, by 2, 2. Then you multiply this, Lana. This is 30 times 2, which gives you 60. Which gives you 60. Finally, Lana, I just want us to understand what factorial means. Suppose you are given a problem like show that n factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial is equals to n squared minus n. Look at that, Lana. You are meant to prove that this left-hand side here with factorials is equals to this. So you come to the left-hand side, Lana. Look at this. You pick this. You talk of n factorial is what? N factorial is n times n minus 1, Lana, times n minus 2, times n minus 3, and so on and so forth, n minus 4, blah, 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 like that, times 1. Divide by what? N minus 2 factorial. So you start with n minus 2 factorial, Lana. You multiply with the next number, it will be n minus 3. Remember, you're subtracting 1 to go to the next number. You multiply by n minus 4, like that, all the way to 1. So, Lana, look at our numerator now and the denominator. N minus 2 factorial will cancel out because it is also up here. So, all this, Lana, cancels out n minus 2 factorial, and therefore you are left with what, Lana? N in bracket n minus 1, which gives you n squared minus n. Look at that, Lana. We have shown that n factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial is equals to n squared minus n. And this is true. So, Lana, all the best as you practice on the factorial notation so that you'll be able to understand our next lesson, which is permutations. Bye-bye and all the best.